Um, it's been about 5 years since we looked at the tattoo fees. So Frank and I had a discussion. We asked Dan Dean to run the cost methodology for us. And then the cost methodology showed the proposed fees, which would recover the costs of administering and enforcing the program. The proposed fees were presented to the licensing council. I wasn't present, but it's my understanding the licensing council concluded those fees are appropriate and necessary. Those fees, just to go over them again real quick, those are the tattoo fees. The current fee is $167.99, and that's going to increase $82.39 to $250.38. The body piercing fees are going to stay the same, $122.52, no change there. The combined body art is going to go from $276, going to go up $3.40 to $279.60. And the temporary or time limited approval, that's going to go from 100 to 114.16, which is a $14.16 increase. It's also worth noting that I talked to Dan Dean, our fiscal, and this program lost roughly $2,400 last year. So that is a reason why we're doing this. At this time, I'd like to give opportunity for proponent and opponent testimony. Proponent testimony is for, opponent is against. So I'm going to call out each 3 times. If there's anybody on the call. Okay, this is the first call for proponent testimony. This is the second call for proponent testimony. This is the third call for proponent testimony. Okay, now I'll go to opponent testimony. It's the first call for opponent testimony. Second call for opponent testimony. And the third call for opponent testimony. Hearing none, I'd like to let the record reflect that no testimony was given, and I'd like to close the public hearing.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to get, there was no room for questions.
You have a question? Sure.
What's combined body art?
So if you just do tattoos, you get charged currently $167.99, but if you do tattoos and piercings, because it saves us money for travel and so forth, it's a slight. Well, no, they usually don't, they're not supposed to be doing it all once.
Thank you. And thank you. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Stand for the pledge, please. All right, yeah. Let's pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? So motion, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Second.
Any questions on the agenda? If not, roll call please.
Mr. Adavasio,
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata,
Yes.
Mr. Barry.
Yes.
Dr. Firster,
Yes.
Mr. Dubus.
Yes.
Mr. Simon, Mr. Messersmith.
Yes. The next item is the approval of the minutes of the March 26th and 25 regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So
moved.
Seconded. Second.
Mrs. Salapata, second.
That's it. Roll call, please. The only question I have on it, we had the discussion the last meeting about that one variance on the septic installed. And then in the minutes, it reflects what the answer was, but we didn't know the answer at that time, did we?
Yeah.
we did.
Okay, fine, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dubus.
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata.
Yes.
Dr. Firster,
Yes.
Mr. Adavasio,
Yes.
Mr. Simon,
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith.
Yes. The next, Health Commissioners report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You have my written report. One addition that I have, it's under item number 1, where I had mentioned that the first half of the property tax has not yet been posted, and I would update you when it comes in. Well, on April the 18th, we did receive notification from the county that our first half of inside millage we did receive it. And that is $307,914.72. That's my report.
Are there any questions?
I have a question. On the cost analysis of the vehicles. You know, we saved several $1,000s doing that, and I have 2 questions. In that cost, how you come up with that, does that include the major items like brakes and things like that?
Yeah, we do factor
Is that
repairs
all in that?
in versus the reimbursement rate. That's how we're
Oh,
comparing
I
it to.
see. Okay.
If we were to pay somebody the miles that they put on the car, we take the monthly reading off the cars. And then if we were to pay that, I believe it's 70 cents a mile, if I'm not mistaken, is the rate that IRS rate of reimbursement. And then we take all the other things. So the gas we put in the vehicles, the insurance on the vehicles, any repairs on the vehicle, so on. So it's all factored in. And then we say that's the difference. If we were paying that out versus what we are actually doing, it's quite a bit of savings.
Well, I know, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
My second question is. Are our vehicles getting older now? Because the last 3 months, we've had 2 brake jobs. Something else we had, I forget what. Tires, or maybe it was tires, I don't remember tires, but. The age of the.
Yeah, I
vehicles,
believe-
Are there some?
I
that
believe
need
for the
looked
most
at?
part, the age of the vehicles are about 2 years old now.
Okay.
So I would say that, you know, we should be able to get 5 good years out of them.
Oh, one was a battery, that was
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's just because sometimes, like our plumbing inspector, for example, there's days where he's all over the county.
Yeah.
He may put 100 miles in one day.
Well, I just wondered
on
if the
it,
age
so,
of the
yeah.
cars, some of them were getting old enough.
Yeah, there might be a few that's 22, but on average, we bought the bulk of them in 23.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
I have one other question too, Fred. We lost that rest of that 1 grant, that COVID enhanced grant. Is that significant to our budget and how are we?
Yeah, and what I will tell you is overall, we were impacted to about $120,000 is what it impacted us. And that was basically, we had our epidemiologist focused on that. And so we did shift her into emergency preparedness funds at this point. So as for like doing building renovations and that were permitted out of that, we got all that accomplished. So we got reimbursed for all that. So yeah, it abruptly ended, but yeah, and then I would say the other part that it impacted us is we had a associate epidemiologist that was assisting with creating spreadsheets and doing data on various programs, not just COVID, but like flu cases and things of that nature. So we had to end that contract as well.
Okay.
And her contract was 37,000. So that wasn't an employee, like we could have, and we planned to have her longer, but it was as big.
Okay.
Yeah, an independent contractor, was not an employee that we had to lay off.
Are there any other questions? If not, is there a motion to accept this environmental or health commission's report as presented?
So, second.
No further questions. Roll call.
Mr. Adavasio,
Yes.
Mr. Barry.
Yes.
Dr. Gerster,
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata.
Yes.
Mr. Dubus,
Yes.
Mr. Simon,
Yeah.
Mr. Messersmith.
Yes. The next one is the Director of Nursing's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You have my written report. We will not take any questions at this time.
What was the first line of the animal fights? We had one, but then say.
Yeah, the way that report was generated, I think that was a bat incident,
Oh.
but the way it's printed from the system, we don't have any control over the way that report, yeah. It should be shifted down.
Bats do fly down. Yes, Dr. Firster. I was wondering if the closure of the two hospitals has affected your department at all.
Not directly, I would say. We've had a few comments from the community, but nothing substantial.
I will say that Jenna is gonna report to the board of impact of one of our grants with the closure of Insight.
Okay. I'll wait. Are there any other questions or comments for the nurse and director? If not, is there a motion to accept the report as presented?
So,
Seconded. Speak up, Mr. Brick. She can't hear you.
I would second that.
A lady in the middle of the table can't hear you.
He picks on me then.
And waiting around. If there's no other questions, roll call, please.
Mrs. Salapata,
yes.
Mr. Barry.
Yes.
Dr. Firster,
Yes.
Mr. Dubus.
Yes.
Mr. Adavazio.
Yes.
Mr. Simon,
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith.
Yes. Next item is the Director of Environmental Health Report, Mr. Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I provided a written report. If you guys have any questions, I can entertain those.
Are there any questions? Very explanatory. There's no questions. Is there a motion to accept the report as presented? So moved. Seconded by Mr. Simons. Roll call, please.
Dr. Firster,
Yes.
Mr. Simon,
Yes.
Mr. Adavazio,
Yes.
Mr. Dubus.
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata,
Yes.
Mr. Barry,
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith.
Yes. Waiting with suspense. The next one is the grants coordinator report.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I provided a written report. The update that I have is the reproductive health and wellness grant that we had. So we actually contracted with Western Reserve Health Education, who ran the residency program at Stewart that then became Insights, and they would get credit. We had some pass-through money, and we kept some of it for providing those services and clinics to the patients. With the closure of Insights abruptly, West Reserve Health Education that operated on Belmont Avenue, their family medicine clinic, had to close, and they are not operating the residency program. I'm pretty sure the residency program got shut down as well, and the residents were moved to different hospitals to finish off there. So we will not be contracting anymore to provide the actual visits for reproductive health. We are still completing one deliverable here in the new grant year that begins April 1st on preconception health and smoking cessation. We still have this grant for 2 years, so in the meantime, while our One Health educator will be providing these education sessions and screening events, we're going to be trying to find other providers in the area that will offer reproductive health and wellness visits to get them the Title X funding to still keep these services in our county. So we're looking at Federally Qualified Health Center and some other providers. So there was an impact in an affiliate clinic essentially being shut down that we will not most likely achieve all of our money this year because we won't have all the numbers of visits. So that is the update there. As far as that, other than employees not getting their paycheck and being laid off and things, we haven't. This is the only impacts we've had with Insight closing at this point in time. So let me know if you have any other questions.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to accept the report as presented? So moved. Second,
No second.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Firster,
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata,
Yes.
Mr. Barry,
Yes.
Mr. Dubus,
Yes.
Mr. Adavasio.
Yes.
Mr. Simon.
Yeah.
Mr. Messerschmidt.
Yes, the next one is the accreditation coordinator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I prepared a written report for the board. I'll take any questions if you guys have them right now.
The back page, your survey was much more than you anticipated.
Absolutely. Yeah, this new consultant really got the word out about our survey, and we've had a much larger turnout than we expected, which is good.
We hired, or we contracted someone that's. It was. Somebody was contracted to publicize it and get them to respond.
Yes, the current consultant that we're working with, Moxley Public Health, has done a fantastic job of distributing that survey.
Okay. Any questions? If not, it's a motion to accept the report as presented.
So moved.
Second by Mr. Basil. No further questions, roll call please.
Mr. Dubus.
Yes.
Mr. Adavasio.
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata.
Yes.
Mr. Barry,
Yes.
Dr. Firster, Mr. Simon.
Yeah.
Mr. Messerschmidt.
Yes. The next one is the health educator report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've provided my written report and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
You seem to start everything with an attendant. You attended a much stuff.
Yes, I'm a man of many meetings.
How did you make out at the one meeting with the equipment you were gonna ask?
There was no meeting with that. I just, received an update that they were waiting to transfer to another store that the, owner of the store that closed down. At also, and I think it was Little Max or something like that, or like, what was the name of the store that closed again? I can't remember.
I don't know, you used to know that.
I don't remember, but yeah, they were transferring to another store to utilize the equipment because they sell fresh produce and all that at the other store, yeah, but. I haven't heard any update, the individual I stay in contact with, been busy planting trees around Warren, so. She hasn't given me any update if it's been transferred or not, but I'll follow up, find out if it's been moved or.
I knew you would.
Of course, just ask.
Any other questions? Comments? There's not, there's a motion to, yes, Dr. Thurston.
I was wondering, did you have an opportunity to touch base with the staff guy from the OSU extension?
No, I think we have. Either this summer or fall is the next,
Okay.
advisory committee meeting, but yeah, I haven't really been doing too much with Healthy Eating Your Snack in regards to that program, so.
Any other questions or comments? There's a motion to accept the report.
I would.
Mr. Barry, seconded by
One second.
Mrs. Salpata. No further questions, roll call.
Mr. Barry,
Yes,
Mrs. Salapata,
Yes.
Dr. Firster,
Yes.
Mr. Dubus.
Yes.
Mr. Adavasio.
Yes.
Mr. Simon.
Yes.
Mr. Messerschmidt.
Yes. Are there any board reports?
yes, if I can sneak in.
Yes.
I didn't know when to say thank you. I didn't know that, I thought. That tattoo thing would be 1, 2, 3, and we vote on it, but I'm gonna say, thank you for putting it together. Thanks, Dan. John and Frank is great as always. He knows his stuff and, the board, our newest member wasn't there. She had,
Her mother.
her mom
fell.
had a fall. I
Yeah,
guess.
she was at the hospital.
Okay. We did elect a new president, a new vice president. And what else did we do? Unanimously recommended to the board to vote for the tattoo fee increase. How about that?
Good.
That's all I have.
Any other board reports?
I was just curious when their next meeting is.
Licensing council?
Licensing council? Well, it's only once a year.
How many years have been now?
Oh, we had one 2 years ago.
No.
It's tough getting a quorum
Quorum.
together on that. And we did have one this time, so.
And I will add that as we look at our fees, if there are gonna be any other fees that we're gonna adjust, and I'm talking about environmental fees, we will call another meeting for the licensing council. So, under the bylaws that we have established, they have to meet once per year. But or more, depending on, like I said, because one of the primary purposes of the licensing council is to review fees that we're attempting to establish our Board of Health in environmental fees.
We might be able to do better with quorums, because I won't be calling dates. Catherine, what's her name? Catherine,
Yeah,
Christine.
Christine Bell,
we elected her as the chair.
right, and Doug Shaw's.
Yeah,
And I will also tell you that Diana Jackson followed back up a couple days later
did she
to
really?
apologize for not.
Did you tell her I did not accept her?
I did not. I told her
Okay.
we were
I,
extremely sorry to hear about the fall
You
of
and
her
your
mother,
finesse.
and hope all is well.
okay, thank you.
Okay, any other board reports? Moving on, is any old business? No old business, moving on to new business. First one is the appeal of findings and orders. Jerry Carrilla Tweet Properties in LLC, 2981 State Route 7, Hartford, Ohio.
Everybody else, there's 180 online. I'm not sure which property is going.
That's good.
You can hear us.
Oh. Ma'am, can you hear us?
Ask her to mute.
Ma'am, can you hear us?
Yes,
Are you here for State Route 7, or you're here for the next one, correct? You're here for,
no, I'm here for, State Route 5.
Number G. Route 5.
okay,
So-
okay, yeah, so we're not to
Okay.
you yet, just hang on a little bit, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
uh-huh.
Okay, so what do you want to do with this appeal if they didn't even show up for the appeal?
So they're not here for the appeal. How were they notified?
I mean, by letter.
When did the letter go out?
This gentleman's letter,
March 27th.
yeah,
So it's up to the board. Obviously, they have to pursue the appeal. They're not here to do so. Board can either just dismiss the appeal at this point, as they're not prosecuting it, or they can reset it and see if you wanna, you know.
What are we talking about?
The Jerry Carrilla Tweet property.
Okay, okay.
and they were given the opportunity to call in. I think we gave them the
Zoom in.
Zoom, and, you know, so they didn't have to appear in person.
What do you suggest? To do what?
We need a motion first before this discussion, right?
Correct.
Well, they're
So,
Excuse me. What I've done in the past, when I had that role of environmental director and we had an appeal, I went ahead and just read off and let the board consider things, and then would ask them to either reaffirm the findings and orders that were originally imposed, or if they want to consider something different. But since they requested it, I always just went ahead and let the board hear it.
Okay,
That would be my suggestion.
okay, so I'll proceed. Okay, so do you guys want me to read through all these 12 steps or give the highlights? So I'll give it, if you want, if you have more questions, I can answer them. So in general, this, Mr. Carrilla's property bought this property and we found out about it, had the real estate inspection, the septic system had failed. We sent him letters to upgrade, nothing happened. We had administrative hearing, he didn't call in for. I issued board signing orders for 90 days to pull a permit and get a septic system installed. Couple days later, one of, I don't remember her name, Marcy, I think, one of his, helpers or his, secretaries or somebody, she called on his behalf and asked for a little more time. So I sent revised orders for 6 months. Couple days later, we got the appeal. Now he is appealing on, the appeal was sold, his appeal, the basis for his appeal, boy, it's tough to get out. Basis for his appeal is the subject property was sold on land contract with the retention life estate for the original owner. The original seller is still living on the property and therefore a change of possession to the new owner has not occurred. Well, it has occurred. So it transferred, that's how we got wind of it through the auditor's site. And the second part is furthermore, once the current occupant is deceased, it's his intent to raise the existing house and no septic system would be needed at that point. So his appeal is that it didn't transfer yet, but it did. His second part of appeal is he doesn't want to do anything until the occupant passes away. I honestly, obviously, I have no idea when that's going to be.
I think one other important thing was valuable consideration paid at the time of
Correct.
transfer.
Yes, correct. So
Because that matters in the exemptions
Yes, correct.
that we have.
Yeah, so valuable consideration was paid. So we did it. It proved to be a public health nuisance. It is being lived in, and so it's currently a public health nuisance. There's two options that can happen here. We can stick with the original findings of putting a new septic system. The other option is, and I can present it to them where the board can think about this, is to cap and vent, which means they would cap any discharge from that septic tank, vent it out so it does, because there's air inside of tanks, but they would have to pump it. So that could, if it's a family like mine, they'd be pumping it every other day. But if it's a singular elderly occupant, maybe they don't use, or she doesn't use, or he doesn't use as much water as my grandma never used as much water as I used. So
Did they give you a time on when they're gonna raise the building?
no, when she passes away.
Okay.
And I don't know if this woman's 60 or 90.
Right.
87.
She's 87. Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's important. Oh, she's not. Okay. Well, it's important to note that she doesn't own it. Mr. Kriller's company does. So those are the two options that I was going to be prepared to give them had he asked. So I'll at least throw them out there. And then you guys can let me know how you want me to proceed.
He argues it's a change of possession, but it's not the possession, it's the ownership that triggers.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So,
It went from Miss Blaney to him.
right, so it doesn't matter who's living in the home, it's who owns them. Once a transfer occurs, and they pay money for it, there's some kind of consideration. It triggers an exception, so it's not under an exception.
Even I think if that were to hold weight, the horse is out of the barn where it's committed, it's creating a public health nuisance. So even if that did fly, it's still, the state's not, it's still creating a public health nuisance.
Dr. First.
I personally don't care who lives there. I don't care to speculate on how long Mrs. Blaney is going to live. Hope she lives a good, long life. All I care about is that there's a health hazard. And I therefore say a motion that we maintain our findings and orders as we previously discussed.
Okay, well,
We have a motion on the table, we have for discussion.
the owner just called him.
Yeah, but Dr. Forster just made a motion.
You're making the motion, okay. I'll second it for discussion.
We have the owners on.
Mr. Krilla, can you hear us?
This is Attorney Andy Suhar for the Tweet Properties.
How you doing, counselor?
Good.
So do we get a discussion or?
Does he have any, does the attorney want to speak?
Yes, comments.
Counselor, do you have any comments on the appeal? You're calling in on behalf of Mr. Krilla?
Yeah, he should be on. I'm surprised, but yeah, my only comments are that, the seller of the property, still has a life estate or is claiming a life estate, and we just want to tear the building down. We're trying, we want to raise the building, and she has a life estate until, well, she's claiming she has it until she dies, and that's where we're at. And so, with the plans with this building are just to go ahead and have it raised, and it's part of the bigger complex out there.
Yeah, we're here. Hello?
I got somebody. This
Hey,
is Jerry.
Hey, Mr. Krill, how are you?
Fine.
All right, you're on with everybody here, and council was just explaining your appeal.
Andy, this is Rob Coker.
Hey,
Is
Rob.
there a time frame to raise the building?
Well, we to raise the building, we want to, as soon as she vacates that premises, it's coming down.
But it did transfer ownership, correct?
Well, it transferred ownership subject to the life estate.
But so obviously the problem we're having is it's not creating a nuisance, but there's no end date to that nuisance. Unless, some other arrangement were to be made, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's the same owner that's been there. And I mean,
He's not the same owner. Corilla's the owner, correct?
Well, of the remainder interest. We don't have it's subject to the life estate.
Right, but she doesn't have ownership interest, she has a life estate interest, correct?
Well, she has a life estate interest, but a life estate interest is an ownership interest.
Then why are you on the phone? Her lawyer should be on the phone.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Right, but I mean, she cannot transfer this property.
She transferred the remainder interest in the property.
Right, she cannot transfer this property, however, to anybody else. Because Corilla's now are the actual fee owner. Subject to the life interest, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're saying it's a fee owner subject to a life interest, and I say it's a remainder interest subject to the life interest, yeah. Because the life owner has complete control of the property, of the life estate. The remainder interest has no control of the property.
Right, but she cannot sell that.
She cannot sell what? The life estate?
She can't sell this property, period. She cannot transfer this property.
She could transfer her life estate.
But that's not, well, we're gonna go in circles. That's not an ownership interest. Okay. But
Well, we don't have rights.
We don't have a hard date of when this nuisance will end.
Well, that may be, but we don't have rights to the property yet.
Probably should go with a cap.
Yeah.
Let's redirect it.
So, do you want me to give my two options to him?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Counselor, before you got on, we were talking about this a little bit, so the revised findings and orders that were sent were for 6 months to pull a permit, submit all the paperwork, pull a permit, and get a new system installed, weather permitting. The other option would be to what's called a cap and vent, which means that that septic tank, everything it accepts would be capped, so no raw sewage can enter the environment anymore, and somebody would have to just pump it out when it gets full. That's might be a better short-term option for you, depending on the length of the life estate. But those are the two options that I see at this point in time.
Well, I think with with either King Brothers or Dukes, being available, that may be the option that we go ahead and look at, because, again, Father Time is on none of our sides. So, the life estate eventually is gonna be over.
So, I guess at this point, would Jerry Corella be interested in that option?
And I'm saying, yes. Jerry, are you still on?
Yes, yes. The voice has been going in and out.
So Jerry, the option would be to go ahead and cap the septic and then have it pumped as needed, whether that's monthly or I don't know how often it would be needed. Depends on how, I guess, the size of the tank. I think that's the option to choose.
So we
And I
would just,
recommend that's the one.
so. All right, I think so. I think. I guess I'll work it out with her. I mean, it's her place until she dies, so I know she doesn't want to put a. She doesn't want to put a big septic system in there, and we could say this is what we're forced to do, is cap it and I guess, keep it pumped out.
Yeah, because we have to do something. The state's not gonna give it up. The ownership and all that aside, it's creating a public health nuisance. So, I mean, we're on that road. Usually cap and vent is a fairly quick process. 30 days should be enough time. And then what I ask is, you'd have to submit the pump receipts. You can email them to our office or send them in the mail. But that's a fairly easy process that King Brothers or Duke probably could do for you.
I think you'd have to get that
Yeah,
writing and all that. And when he's gonna,
I think we have to go ahead and Jerry, I don't think shouldn't be a problem with with Kate Blaney. So I think that we should go ahead and wrap this up, to agree to that process, and then we can go ahead and follow the guidelines to get it capped, and then do the pumping and provide the receipts.
sure,
Or amendment.
Let's see, withdraw and then do the motion. Doc, you want to withdraw your prior motion?
I shall. I withdraw that one.
And you withdraw your second.
yes. Thank you.
Now, at this point, they agreed, are we going to have that put in writing? And then we go on from there.
Yeah,
We would issue revised findings and orders.
correct. Where you make a motion at this point in time.
I would do a motion on it, and we're gonna
Is there a
revise.
motion to that effect?
Can I gotta ask the board a question? On this capping, is it just a septic installers? Is a certified septic installer the ones that do that?
Yeah, you mentioned King Brothers. Dukes might be able to do it. I don't know if they're an installer, but there's a list. I mean, we can get a list from our
Okay.
website for a bit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. I know it's King Brothers, and there's some others. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, so an installer is approved, but it's not, it wouldn't be a permitted process, so anyone could do it. But if you're asking me, I'd rather have an installer do it. That'd be my preference.
Okay.
So your recommendation now is what?
I think that if they cap and vent within 30 days, submit pump receipts to our office. And then will have to be something in there about once the woman passes away, that the house, there's a time frame to properly abandon the septic and the well and raise the structure. Usually it's 6 months we give people.
And that would be fine.
Well, then you want to make you make the motion. I would make the motion to follow recommendation of our environmental director.
Did you get all that, John?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Mr.
You have a question, Dr. Firster?
I just really hate to put anything on record. Contingent upon how long somebody lives. And that such and such will be this way until someone expires and that, that's not right.
How about until the property is
Until the
vacant?
property is transferred to a new owner.
Well, it's already.
Vacant.
It's already until
Vacant business, yeah.
Yeah. Just make it so that retention of life estate ends.
Just, I would put vacant, sounds like a better way to.
Okay.
Is there any further discussions on the motion?
By the current person living there.
Correct, yes, yeah. You caught that, Paul, counselor? So you can't move
yeah,
somebody else into
oh,
this
yeah.
deal, okay?
Oh, no, we, believe me, as soon as we can raise the structure, we will. The 6 months, it's fine. We won't need even that much time.
Okay.
Been a motion and a second. Any further questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Barry?
Yes.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mrs. Salatata?
Yes.
Dr. Forster?
Yes.
Mr. Adavasio?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith?
Yes. Now, the sidebar to that, Dr. Forster. Dr. Forster, listen to this, there was another property on the place that they disintegrated quickly. So I mean, they aren't planning on leaving. So this is a monument, I would think. Okay. And really it's a tremendous health hazard because it showed up in the ditch. There's one other property neighbors. The ditch goes to a creek that goes 2.5 miles through farmland till it gets to the state line. So I think that they probably, if they would test septics in Levitt or Warren Township that goes into the Mahoney River, the whole Mahoney River would be probably red. But this is one little spot that I haven't heard of anybody calling a nuisance by the smell or anything. Too bad.
So it flows into Pennsylvania anyway.
It goes to Pennsylvania, it goes to the water treatment plant down in the city of Hermitage. Now it goes down to the Pittsburgh to the Mahoney River, goes into the Ohio River. Okay, moving on. Thank you for being participating.
Thank you for
Oh, okay, this is Andy Suhar. I'm going to sign off now, and I thank the board.
Thank you.
Andy Suhart.
I don't.
Okay, the next one is the appeal of findings and orders of Christie Line Violish 8237 Lincoln, Brookfield Township.
There's nobody on the phone for 8237 Lincoln, correct? Correct. Okay. So Rod's here, the inspector's here, so I guess we'll treat this the same way. I'll run through this. This was a complaint that we had received from Brookfield Township. Upon complaint, and there's some pictures there. Yeah, upon complaint, we found some violations. We sent the NOV. We did a re-inspection, there was no change, so we sent a second NOV and an admin hearing. We had the admin hearing. On 2/25/25, the owner did not call in, was not present, so the findings were issued to clean it up within 30 days. We soon after that, within the 30 days, I should say, got the appeal. I'm not sure what she's vehemently appealing, is that what it said?
Yeah, she wrote on her findings and orders and sent it back that she vehemently disagreed.
Yeah, so Rod, can you tell us what's going on there today?
Yeah, it notified me that she appealed, so you have me go back and look at it. And what they had done in the latest photos you can see is they put up a black, like a mesh black mesh screen covering everything that was questioned. So some of it you could still see solid waste, and some of it this screening kind of covered it up. I didn't really want to trespass and make a big issue, so I didn't go look on the other side of the screen, but some of it you could still see solid waste. I don't know if she thought if she covered it up to where you couldn't see it, and it made it a non-issue, but that's kind of what she did.
Yeah, and even in those pictures, you can see all the things that are being used to hold up that screen. That's all solid waste, so you can't have any of that there, so. This is another one that, in my opinion, we only have one option, and I would ask the board to affirm the findings and orders. I mean, if you wanted to give them more time to clean up this mess, that's up to you guys, but
They look like they use their time.
I don't know.
Those drums, do they have a liquid in them?
I don't know, Frank, but there's a bunch of them.
I see that. Yeah, I'm just concerned that there might be, yeah.
Or denying the appeal, is that the motion? Motion to deny the appeal?
Uphold the,
Yeah, uphold the orders.
And then
Same thing, yeah.
Then what do we do?
It says appeal on the agenda.
So if you uphold the orders, we'd start the 30 days clock. And then if they didn't do it, we go to, like we normally do, go to court. And then she can appeal to wherever this is at, that's Eastern District. Does that make sense?
Yes. Does someone want to make a motion? What is the motion, Mr. Simons?
Motion was to uphold the findings.
Okay, is there a second?
1 second.
Kathy seconded. Any questions or comments? If not, we will call.
Mr. Simon,
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata.
Yes.
Mr. Barry,
Yes.
Dr. Forster,
Yes.
Mr. Dubus,
Yes.
Mr. Adavasio,
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith.
Yes. The next one, part C, is a field trip for one of our nurses.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a request for one of our public health nurses, Maria O'Brien. One of her current projects through NACHO is our strengthening immunization program communications and outreach capacity project. Part of that grant work does include a scholarship to attend their national conference, which is this year being held in Anaheim, California from July 15th to July 18th. So per our travel policy, ADM 1040, Board of Health must approve all out-of-state travel. The travel scholarship does cover all costs, including airfare, lodging, and meals.
Is there a motion to that effect? To grant the out-of-state travel? So motion. Seconded.
Second.
Mr. Berry. Any questions or comments? That's not, Disney World isn't located in that town, is it? The tickets included?
It is.
She'll be at a conference all those
Okay.
days, so.
Roll call?
Mr. Adavasio.
Yes.
Mr. Barry,
Yes.
Dr. Forster,
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata,
Yes.
Mr. Dubus,
Yes.
Mr. Simon,
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith.
Yes. The next one is part B, which the lady was on the phone.
She's still there.
Okay. Declaration of unfit human habitation. 2953 State Route 5, Braceville, Evelyn Smith owner.
Okay, Ms. Smith, you still there? You still there?
Hi, I'm her daughter. This
okay.
isn't Evelyn. I'm her daughter, so I'm here representing her.
What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Darlinda Smith.
Okay. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna go through my process here and then you'll get your chance to talk, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So this one comes to us through Braceville Township trustees. They asked for a request to deem it unfit. We can see we got presence of solid waste, rodent some insects. It has some gross unsanitary conditions.
Was it a house or was it a?
Commercial property, correct, Ron?
Used to fix CDs back in
Was
the
it
day.
CD radio shop?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
What the sign said?
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Smith, I'll give you a chance. How can we help?
I guess I'm just like I said, my mom got this. My mom is, 80 some years old and she is in early stages of dementia. So I'm here representing her, just trying to figure out like what's going on. She just showed this to me. I know it is said for, being unfit for human habilitation. Obviously, it, as you indicated, it was a commercial building. The building has been closed probably for the last 20 some years. Nobody has been going in and out of it. So, you know, I, I, I guess that's all I'm coming to speak to. Um, I'm
Okay, so
not for sure.
let me give you a rundown on how, so we've done a lot of these, so how these work. So what happens is the trustees, they ask us to do the inspection. We do the inspection. If the inspector deems that it's unfit for human habitation at that time, the Board of Health would declare it such. Now, it would then go back to the township. So the declaration is something the board gives, but we don't. In this case, it would go back to the townships to do something about it. So you would work directly with them going forward. Depending on what they want to do. I don't know if the declaration, they want to bring you to the table and you fix it up. I don't know if that's anything you want to do. I don't, so you'd have to work from them. Once our part is done here.
Okay.
Good, Rod.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. This came to us not too long ago from Graceville Township. They are
Mhm.
trying very actively and there's 3 more houses after this to get funding from the land bank and to real quickly qualify for grants to get these 4 structures down. So Graceville, that's what they're wanting. They're hoping to get money and get this down as soon as possible.
Okay. Well, that's what I was about to ask was, I guess I would have to work through them to see if there was any type of funding to help her. Because like I said, she's 81 years old and also, have some mental health issues going on with dementia that, I'm trying to step into that space to see if there's any type of funding because the property is in her name.
Yeah, so this would be the first step in that. I'm gonna ask the board to declare the house or declare the structure unfit for human habitation. That's the first step. Like I said, once that's done,
Mhm.
we'll send a letter out to your mother, but then
Okay.
get a hold of Braceville. Do you have any numbers for him, Rod, or?
I don't have a number off the top of my head, though, just so you know, if Graceville's granted the okay on this, the land bank would probably take over this property and clean it. Your mom wouldn't be any trouble or anything like that, but it's possible the
Well,
property could be taken.
okay. Well, all right. That'll just be information then that I'll take and just see whatever steps that we would be able to take to remedy the situation because I'm sure that's not the intent for them to come and snatch the property.
Do you have a pen? I'll give you the number of a guy at Braceville Township.
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
So his name is Tom. His last name is Shay, Shay. And his phone number is 330-954-0085.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So reach out to him in regard to.
Yeah, just work with them. So once the board, if they declare to have it deemed unfit for human habitation, then you'll work with them exclusively and or the land bank. But I would talk to Tom first. Tom's a good guy. He'll help you out.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Is there
Bye-bye.
Motion, declare this property unfit. So moved. Second.
Second.
Any further questions? Not roll call?
Dr. Firster,
Yes.
Mr. Barry,
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata,
Yes.
Mr. Dubus,
Yes.
Mr. Adavasio.
Yes.
Mr. Simon,
Yeah.
Mr. Messersmith.
Yes. The next one is declare unfit for human habitation. 4774 Shanks, Lennox Road, Braceville Township, Betty Pulaski owner.
Okay, nobody's on. Okay. Let me catch up. Okay. 4774 Shanks family. So this come to us through Braceville Township. We did the inspection on March 21st of this year. Solid waste, rodents, gross unsanitary conditions. So I'd ask the board to adopt the motion as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second? Mr. Simon seconded. Any questions or comments? If not, roll call.
Dr. Firster?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Adavazio?
Yes.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mrs. Salasada?
Yes.
Mr. Barry?
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith?
Yes, turning the agenda over in page 2. Declaration of unfit. 3512 State Route 5, Bracefield Township, Rosemary Thompson, owner.
Okay, nobody on the phone. So this come to us through Braceville Township again, another one, March 21st inspection. The pictures are telling 1,000 words here. So all the solid waste, mold, rodent infestation, gross unsanitary condition. There's a note here to inspect the horrible conditions. And no electrical components, nothing was working there. So again, I'd ask the board to adopt the motion as presented.
Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second,
Second,
any other questions? If not, roll call. Yes, you have a question?
Oh.
Rod, where is that?
It's next to the abandoned car lot, right there where Warner Gunner Road comes out.
Just the one that's got the,
Correct, there was an old man that lived in there. For years.
yes. Till about 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's right next to the CB radio.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mrs. Salasada?
yes.
Mr. Barry?
Yes.
Dr. Firster?
Yes.
Mr. Adavazio?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith?
Yes. Next one, declaration unfit, 3150 State Route 5, Bracefield Township. Matterheim Incorporated owner, must be the neighbors.
Okay, no one's on the line here, so it's another one that Rod did on the same day, busy day. So this will come to us from Braceville Township, March 21st of this year, the presence, or the inspections is done. You can see this, we got some issues with mold here. Generally gross and sanitary conditions.
This looks completely empty.
It's mostly empty, yeah, there's nobody living there, there's no furniture or anything in it. But I'd ask the board to adopt the motion as presented.
Is there a motion to that effect?
Yeah, that was the same.
So moved.
Second,
Second,
you know where it's at, Dr. Firster?
I'm sorry.
You know where this house is located?
Do I know it?
You know where it's at?
Oh, sure.
Okay. There's no questions, roll call, please.
I know, okay,
Mr. Barry?
yes.
Mrs. Salasada?
yes.
Dr. Firster?
Yes.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mr. Adavazio?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith?
Yes. Okay, the next one is declared unfit. 43 Tuttle Liberty Township, Lisa Stevens owner. We moved to a different township.
Okay, so nobody's on, all right, so this one I actually talked to, this came through the Liberty Police. We're serving an eviction, if I believe. Is that right, Rod? You went there?
Yeah,
to serve eviction?
we way behind on her rent, so they wanted her out.
So this should say Liberty Township trustees, it does say Braceville, so they'll fix that. But gross unsanitary conditions, solid waste, mold, rodents. This is in what's it called, Ron? Vintage
Village?
Yeah, so this is one that the police called me and said, hey, we're here and this thing is bad, so Rod went out and they were right. So I'd ask the board to adopt the motion as presented. It is vacant, they did evict the
Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second,
Second,
Mr. Lou?
I'm
Any
sorry. Who seconded it? I thought it was Mrs. Salasada.
Oh,
Okay.
Is there any questions or not roll call?
Dr. Firster?
Yes.
Mr. Adavazio?
Yes.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mrs. Salasada?
yes.
Mr. Barry?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith?
Yes. The next one, tax assessment for unpaid permits to operating fees, levels 3, 4, and 5.
Okay. So we do this yearly, I'll do them I'll go through them separately. So just to give everybody a refresher, this is for property owners that didn't pay their yearly permit to operate. So when they don't pay, we send late notices. When they don't pay the late notices, we follow Ohio Revised Code 370991, which authorizes the health commissioner to assess their property taxes. So that's what I'm asking here. So none of these, and again, what we will do is we will double check all of these before we put them on the assessed list to see if they might have paid today or tomorrow or yesterday when this, sometime between where this list was created and before they get assessed, but we do double check that. So this first one is for level 3s, which is our non-NPDS discharging systems, $125 a year now plus the penalty.
You wanna do them separately?
Yeah, I'd ask the board to adopt this recommendation for these level 3s.
Is there a motion to that effect? Second, questions? Roll call.
Mrs. Salatata?
Yes.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mr. Barry?
Yes.
Dr. Firster?
Yes.
Mr. Adavazio?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Measurson?
Yes. One of these, for sure, I noticed there was, and I don't know which page it was on, I read it. There was one in Brookfield on Yankee Run Road. They're getting sewers put in, are we gonna,
Well, we will double check that, but every sewer project has a beginning and an end. So unfortunately, there's always somebody that it stops right before their house.
oh,
But we double check for
Okay.
sure.
cause I think the whole Yankee Run Road is getting them.
And it could very well be, I don't know but we do double check all that and Dr. Firster brought up a good point. I guess these people all got renewals in October. Between October, late September, October, they all these 5,000 these renewals go out. So they had 2 or 3 months to pay, and then we got late fees, so here we are. So it's a long process.
You had Thanksgiving, turkeys, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day,
It's a
like
lot
St.
of- lot of
Patrick's Day.
things to take, cycling the money off.
That's right.
Next one,
So the next one here is for level 4s, and level 4 is an NPDS discharging system. It's an EPA system. It's $175 a year and now plus the penalty. I'd ask the board to adopt that motion.
is there a motion to adopt this? Level 4? Thank you. Made a motion. Somebody. So moved. Dr. First made, Kathy seconded. Any other questions or comments?
Chris,
Yeah.
Yes,
this, like the fee on this one is for 218. That's the fee plus the.
no, 175 plus the 25% penalty.
So that's why it's listed here at 218.
Yeah, correct. And I just thought of something, Mr. Chairman, you're right. Being these are level 4s, they would have to pay until the sewers are done. Or until they until they break ground. So it might not be. It might not be for the address you're asking about, but generally speaking, if we know that they're gonna get sewers, they still have to pay their permit. They still have to.
Well, the sewer's been put in, but they haven't tapped in yet.
No, yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm just trying to bring it up just
Okay.
in general, just because they're gonna be sewered, doesn't let them off this list. What lets them off this list is when the sewers are in and they're accessible. So if they're on this list, they're probably not accessible, but we double check.
Good, because I think there was only one on the road, I mean, whatever,
Yeah, that list
okay.
is in flux as well too, so we do double check as well.
Because Brookfield made a recommendation of 4 installers to put the tap into their houses,
Okay,
and I don't know if they've started yet or not.
oh, I don't know. Well, I believe we've sent out our letters, so these people are on the 6-month clock. But if that particular address is on the letter, we'll double check.
Okay. Next one,
Wait, roll call.
roll call, yes.
Dr. Firster?
Yes.
Mrs. Salatata?
Yes.
Mr. Barry?
Yes.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mr. Adavazio?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Measurson?
Yes. The next one,
Okay, so these next ones, geez, there's a lot of pages. They're level 5, so these are our temp fixes that people haven't paid for. So back to the conversation we've been having on and off here, these ones, again, we'll be double checked. They owe the fee until the sewers break ground. So once they start digging, then we stop, but these sewer projects, sometimes they tell us we want to start in May, and that means December. So we don't just tell anybody in the sewer area, hey, don't pay us. Because there's still some work involved. So these are all the temporary fixes, and again, we will double check these to make sure that they're not actually being sewered and so forth. But these are $125 plus the 25% penalty. So I'd add, yeah.
Motion to that effect. So motion, second. Barry, seconded.
Mrs. Salapata, Mrs. Salapata did.
Okay, I didn't hear it. Roll call, please.
Mr. Adavazio?
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata?
Yes.
Mr. Barry?
Yes.
Dr. Firster?
Yes.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith?
Yes, the next thing on the list is approval of the visitor protocol. We do have a copy of that.
Yes, this is something we just recently worked on. As you know, we have many visitors that come to the building for meetings and various other opportunities to interact with our employees. And so, as other facilities do, we are creating a protocol where there will be a sign-in process. Most of the individuals would come through the front entrance. We do have an accessible entrance that is ADA compliant here at the side of the building where our employees come through. And on occasion, we do have individuals that enter the building through that entrance. And what we're talking about would be that once they go beyond that point where we would give the service of what they came here to do business for, or coming in from the lobby area. So we would have them sign in. And then and that's what the first part is talking about, is a sign-in process. They would be given this badge, so we would know that we have a visitor here. We have some discretion that if it's like law enforcement that's here, we don't need to have them do a badge. Or the construction workers that we have that do maintenance on the building, that we would exclude those kind of situations. And then anything else that would be at our discretion, like if the mayor of Portland comes here, for example, we all know who she is, so we wouldn't have to have her sign in and do that process. So that's what we say in there, to our discretion. And then when they would exit the building, they would leave the visitor badge and sign out. It's basically what this is saying. And then how we will keep the where we'll store them, which is we do everything electronically. And then and the frequency that we would put them onto that system that we save in the e-file. So that's basically what this policy states. And then the attachment is the actual sign-in sheet that we'll be utilizing. So is there anything you want to add to it?
No, it's pretty thorough. Jenna did a fantastic job.
How many necklaces do we have?
50.
50. Wow, you expect bunch of school kids. Good. They all the same color.
Yep.
Is there a motion to accept this policy? So moved. Second by,
I'll second.
thank you, great. Any other questions? If not, roll call, please.
Dr. Firster?
Yes.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata?
Yes.
Mr. Barry?
Yes.
Mr. Adavazio?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Messersmith?
Yes. Are there any visitor comments? If none, is there a motion that we go into executive session to cover pending litigation? So moved. Second, Mr. Simon. Roll call.
Dr. Firster?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yeah.
Mr. Adavazio?
Yes.
Mr. Dubus?
Yes.
Mrs. Salapata?
Yes.
Mr. Barry? Mr. Messersmith?
Who do you